Welcome back to Vanircreations tutorials. This week we're going to be making this driftwood suncatcher piece. The DIY kit for this suncatcher will be linked down below. Or if you'd like to, you could purchase your own items for this DIY tutorial. I hope you enjoy this tutorial, and other than that, let's get into it. Do is get your meter of wire, 24 gauge, and then get your hoop. This is the 3-inch hoop. Then you get your wire. I'm just going to move these out of the way so you can see, and wrap it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If there's any extra wire there, it's a tiny bit, as you can see, you can cut that off. You can use pliers or scissors. Pliers are easier, but scissors work just as well, which I'll show you in this video using both. So then you're going to get, firstly, a little gold bead. Thread it through your wire, and then we wrap round. So try and make sure that your bead is on the outer side of your hoop, and then wrap round once. Oh, I need to move that wire out of the way. Wrap round once and then twice. So you can see there that it's gone round twice. Then next, get your small clear bead, prism bead, thread that through. Then you're going to wrap round once, again making sure your bead's on the outer side of the hoop, once, twice. Sometimes it can be a bit fiddly. There you go again, twice. And then we're going to get our chip bead. What chip bead should I use? I'm really liking Mother of Pearl recently, so I'm going to use one of them. And then again, make sure it's on the outer side of the hoop. Wrap once, wrap twice. And then get your next bead. I'm going to go for a small clear again. And wrap once, and wrap twice. Next, get another gold bead, and again I'm going to show you slowly. Keep the gold bead on the outer side of the hoop and wrap it once, twice. Then you're going to carry on this pattern until you get halfway. So when you have repeated the pattern all the way around, you then need to wrap at the end 4 or 5 times, and then cut off any excess. I've not got any excess, but you probably will because I put more in your kits. So 1, 2, I'm only managing to actually wrap that twice, which will stay perfectly fine, but in your kits I'm going to give you slightly more wire and you'll be able to wrap it about 4. If you have got a bit of a space, say like this, and it's not gone all the way to the end, you can push it together. and it will form a full circle. In my circle I have done the pattern, so the gold, clear, chip and clear. I've done that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. So you should be doing the pattern 9 times around. I will give you a few extra chips and beads in your kit, but that is how you do the 3-inch hoop. So the first thing you're going to do is get your tier prism, 50mm, and 2 octagon prisms and 3 jump loops. Get one of your octagon prisms first and then put the double jump loop through the bottom of that, through one of the holes. Let me show you again. So you just open the jump loop up and pass it through the hole, just like that. Another jump loop, put that through the holes till all the holes are filled, and you should have something that looks like that. And then get your big, well, this is your small tier, and then put the jump loop through the top of that too. And then you should have 2 of them. Then we're basically going to do the same but with this big one. So you're going to put jump loop through that again, through that again, through that again, so it's like that. And then you'll need a separate jump loop for this one because this is quite a big prism. The large tier. And then that piece you've just done, attach it to the jump loop you've just put on that tier, so that it looks like that. You should have 3 chains made up there. Then we're going to just do this part here. I'm going to add a jump loop to this prism. And a jump loop to your very small hoop. Like that and that. Then add this jump loop that's attached to this prism to the jump loop you've just put on there. So you're not putting it on here on the hoop, you're putting it on the jump loop. So can you see now that is just being attached to that jump loop, and it should look like that. Then this will fold in on itself, and then it should look like this. Now get a jump loop and attach it to your crystal chip hoop. And then another jump loop. Attach it to the jump loop you've just attached to your crystal hoop, so it looks something like this. And then attach that one to the jump loop that has the small hoop inside it. This one, not the one that's attached to the prism. Then, oh, got a bit. You should have something that looks like this when you're holding this one. So when you're holding this jump loop, it should look like that. my string here. And I'm just going to tie it on to the driftwood. Right at the ends. Probably 1 or 2 centimetres in. And I'm just tying it in a normal knot, very tight, about 4 or 5 times. We do not want that coming loose. And tie it on the other side too. Right at the ends of it so that it kind of sits like this. Use the full length of that piece of string that should be, I think I've put about 50 centimetres in. There we go. Now, the first thing I'm going to attach will be the hoop. Oh, so get your wire. I want you to cut 10 centimetres of that wire off. In fact, while we're here, I'll cut all the 10 centimetres, so you should need 3 of them 10 centimetres. I've already measured them. And now I'm going to find the centre of my piece of driftwood. So measure the centre. I often do things by eye, but measuring how long it is and then dividing it by 2 should help. Our chain, because that's how we're going to attach it to the top. So cut your piece of chain so it has, should we go with 7 links? So cut on the 8th link. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It doesn't matter if it's a bit shorter or a bit longer. So yeah, we've got our chain there. Sorry about the mix-up. Attach that chain to the jump loop that's on your crystal chip hoop, the one that's around your hoop. So that one. That's the one you're attaching the chain to. And now we put this wire through the very top chain, very top loop on your chain. And this wire now goes around this driftwood. Kind of in half like that. Bring it together at the top, and then you're going to have to try and get it really tight to it and then twist. Twist about 1 centimetre, so you've got all that twist there. Then cut the extra bits off. And then this bit that's sticking up here, we just put that down with our finger. Or if you close your scissors, you can use that to kind of like press it down a bit more. So it looks a bit neater, and then we should have something that looks like this. Now I'm going to add the side parts, so I'm just going to move that out of the way. The side part of this design has these 2, so we're going to cut chain for them. I'm going to do a 3-link chain for each one. Ooh, the 3 links, and three links. God, let's get rid of some of this mess. Then the very top loop here, very top jump loop, attached to that 3-linked chain. Do the same with your other one. And now get your wire, put the top of that chain through it, and also your charm chain with your moon and star charms on it. Put the very top link of the moon or star, whichever one it ends on, put that through. So you should have them like this. Then right near the end of, right, probably about a centimetre or 2 away from where you've added the rope, I'm going to twist that on. But I'm not going to twist that on as firmly, I'm just going to kind of leave that, because we're going to have to make sure that this chain does not interact with this hoop here. So we have to be careful that it doesn't hit it. Do the same with the other side, add the top of your chain, the top loop of your chains. So it looks like that. You can see. And then I'm going to add that on as well. Here. You have to be careful on this bit because driftwood's all different, so I need to make sure that it's meeting in the middle. If you're getting your own piece of driftwood, you are going to have to make sure that it's quite slim, the piece of driftwood, and not too thick, because these pieces of wire won't go around it unless you're getting your own pieces of wire too. Then it will work. But yeah, just be aware of that. I am praying that this works, or I'll be changing the whole video. This should work now. Right, so now get this, what we made earlier, and the top jump loop to it. I want you to add the bottom of this chain to that jump loop. And also the bottom of the chain on this side to this jump loop at the top of your prisms. So like this, both attached. Let me just look at that, make sure it's working. It was worth it. That is looking pretty good. I can't really show you until it's finished, but that looks perfect. I'm so happy with it. So now, I'm not having to move these chains, these wires at the top, but you could, if you wanted to, you could move them inwards, you know, if they're not too tight, or outwards. But I think I'm going to keep mine where they are, because they feel about right. And then I'm going to tighten these even more, so they're tight to the driftwood so they won't move. Is that moving? No. But don't do it too tight so that it breaks, by the way, because this wire can break, and then just make sure you pop it down afterwards. Yeah, about a centimetre up I twist, but you can twist a bit more if you're not confident. Just don't twist it too tight or too loose. You need to get the right mix there. I will leave a little bit of extra wire in your kit just in case you have an accident. Happens to everybody. And then that is your finished piece, and I'll show you it in real time.